Hello, welcome to the Tuesday night music show.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys remember the show Happy Days, but Laverne and Shirley was a spin-off show of Happy Days. Sometimes Laverne and Shirley would go back on Happy Days. We're kind of doing that tonight to kick off the show because on the Tuesday night music show, we're going to do Boston John's record roundup at the top of the show like we used to in the old-timey days.
Hi, I'm Laverne.
Yeah, Laverne, would you like to go ahead and give us an intro for this?
I'll be
Like,
the mechanic.
You'd be the mechanic. In the chat. You could be Al. You're just at the Happy Days restaurant. Al Molinaro. So we're co-headlining today. We're going to have a little bit of both. We'll have some record roundup talk, and if there's some time, we'll talk about some other stuff too. So hello and welcome everybody. Before we get started, we'd like to just quickly thank our sponsors. DJ Event Planner. You'll find a link for them in the video's description below. Please check them out. Here with us tonight, we have Howie Darkstar. Good to see you, brother.
Ooh.
Jay Brandon's here with us on tour again.
I'm in Hollywood.
Again in Hollywood.
I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, BSR is here tonight with us, music show captain. And we've got New Hampshire Eric is joining us. Nice to see you.
Sat on parole. I'm so good to see that. Man, you burned it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We've got Kevin here from the great state of Ohio. Good to see you.
OH.
OH.
There you go.
Ohio.
Oh,
And we got Ken and Lori in the wings, so hello to both of you, but they aren't participating in the video portion of our event tonight. So we're going to do our record roundup.
Yeah.
So
That'll be
I
fun.
got one, and I'd be interested to see how far we can riff on it.
Yeah. What do you got?
I got a Berkeley grad, which is interesting because most people attend Berkeley, but they never finish Berkeley. They get
The
a record
famous
deal
ones
and-
always quit or get kicked out.
Yeah, they get about 3 years
That's the
in, and
rule.
they're like, and you're off to the races. You sit down with the producer and you put out an album. So Berkeley grad, her name is Amy Mann. Good to
Yes.
see ahead of time. And the track that I'm picking for the lost track of the day is Till Tuesday's Voices Carry.
Yes.
Great song.
Okay. I thought they were a one and done, and then I did a little deep diving. So this is a demonstration copy. This is a radio copy. It's same version on both sides. It's 1985 that came out. So obviously her attendance for Berkeley was prior. The first record that Till Tuesday put out was 83, and they did a string of records, maybe 5 or 6 till about 1990, and then they disbanded. Amy Mann continued to be a prolific singer-songwriter. She's been an actress. She's been on some television. You may have seen her in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Somewhere else she was too. Big Lebowski, West Wing, Portlandia. So she's been active. I thought she fell off the scene, but she's still putting out music material. She's won 2 Grammys.
Magnolia, I think she won a Grammy, didn't she?
Magnolia is
P.T.
listed here, too.
Anderson's movie.
Yep. So for her, as I say, this is a little bigger career than just the one song. So I was mistaken in thinking that was pretty much all they did was the one and done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure this charted. I want to say it was a #1 single. If not, it was definitely top 10. It was on the radio all the time, and the fact that she was from here, the great city of Boston, doesn't.
Do you know where it was shot? The video was shot in Dorchester at the Strand.
What was it?
Yeah, it's the Strand Theater in Dorchester. And you know who she's married to? Michael Penn.
Isn't he dead?
No, that's his brother.
Oh, Christopher.
Michael is one of the brothers, like Sean Penn, Christopher Penn, Michael Penn.
Okay, Christopher's
Christopher's
dead. Not Michael. Okay.
But Michael Penn is alive, and Michael Penn is the one that had a great 80s track called No Myth, which I know if you guys heard it, you'd be like, oh my God, I love this song. But yeah, that's her husband, and they've done a ton of stuff since the Till Tuesday days. Yeah.
Yes, Michael Penn, the brother of Sean and Chris Penn. Yes.
Yes.
And they live in Los Angeles. And I think just to wrap up on her, the funniest thing that I saw here was, according to the musician Al Jorgensen of Ministry, he and Amy Mann had a brief dysfunctional romance in Boston in the 70s and 80s. So that's also a connection to Ministry with her.
Nice.
And by the way, I have to interject. There's a store in Boston called Newbury Comics. There's one on Newbury Street and one in Harvard Square in the Garage. And I used to go to both stores, and there was this very quiet, very pale, platinum blonde, spiky with a long braid girl that worked there. And I would get into conversations with her about punk and new age and new wave and different music when I would buy music there. And I didn't think much of it. It was not one of these, like, you got her name. She was kind of a shy girl. And I remember being at home. Hey, here's the new song from the Boston band Till Tuesday. Voices Carrie. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the girl from Newbury Comics. Like, she worked at Newbury Comics in Boston for years.
Small world. Yeah.
Like, me and everyone else that shopped there knew who she was, but didn't know she was that Amy Mann. It was one of those things. So,
That's super cool.
welcome to Jay's show. Apparently, I'm taking over because I'm
that's a good. That's I thought you were telling me she worked at Stairway to Heaven or one of those places. That was
no. I provided
Hollywood.
Stairway to Heaven with
figure.
content way back when,
Yeah.
but no, she worked at Newbury Comics.
Well, that makes a lot of sense that she had such connections in the industry and she knew about all these different types of music. And as I say, 2-time Grammy Award winner and actress and songwriter, singer-songwriter, Amy Mann and Till Tuesday, the band is, and the song was Voices Carry. So look that up. You'll know that if you can't think of it by the title, start playing it. You'd be like, oh, I've heard this. It's one of those.
Yeah, you'd know it. Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah,
There are 2 tracks by them I thought also that were interesting because they were days of the week. It's Till Tuesday. And on the Voices Carry album, they had one called Maybe Monday. And I thought that was interesting. And then later on in 86, they had one called On Sunday. So if you get a chance, listen to those 2 tracks. It only brought it to my attention because Till Tuesday. But
Put that on your calendar for, maybe Monday. Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. Well, let's all listen to it Wednesday.
Yeah,
Susanna Hoffs has suddenly got somebody kicking up on her heels there, I see, huh? That Man Monday thing is not alone.
The best from
Anymore.
her, she put out a tweet. She says, actually, Saturday is my fun day. And it just blew the whole world to.
Oh, there you go.
Never on
What
a
about
Sunday.
Bob Geldof? What if he suddenly goes like, I hate Tuesdays?
He likes Mondays suddenly?
Yeah.
Who did that? I don't like Mondays song.
It was Boomtown Rats.
Yeah,
That was
Boomtown
Bob
Rats.
Geldof.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I'm in the zone, everyone. Just let me go. Just let me go. I haven't made a mistake yet.
just let Jake. on
Brian
that.
hasn't corrected
Just let him
anything
go.
I've said.
No,
Just let him go.
You're spot on. I bring up somebody from Boston, and your deets are validated for sure. You get the
Cheers to
embossed stamp.
Actually, I'm going to call it a night, everybody. Thank you. I'm going to go. I'm going to go 1-0. Yeah.
Jay, since you are on fire, would you like to give us one? You'd like to go
Well,
next?
you know what? Again, I'm famously in Hollywood, California, and one of my favorite bands of all times. I think still to this day, the greatest live album, in my opinion, Live and Dangerous, the band Thin Lizzy. They had a great song called Hollywood, Down in Your Luck, off Renegade.
Okay.
But the album I want to do is Chinatown. Came out in 79. I was just a wee bit young high school kid. And it was, Thin Lizzy is a four-piece band out of Ireland. Famously, lead singer Phil Lynott, Irish born and bred. Brian Downey, the drummer, Irish born and bred. Gary Moore, as we all know, the famous blues player, had Greenie, the guitar that now Kirk Hammett owns, was in a band called Skid Row, then went on his solo career, but then joined Phil Lynott with Thin Lizzy. We Have a Cat.
Meow.
When we talk about the shows, he wants to learn more about music.
I don't blame the cat. I don't blame the cat at all.
I'm sorry, Jay, please continue.
But
snuck up on me.
The problem with Thin Lizzy was over the years, they would keep switching out guitarists, except the stalwart. After Eric Bell on the first album, they were a three-piece. Second album came out, and they got a guy named Scott Gorham from the U.S., who I've had the pleasure of hanging out and talking to once. Scott Gorham then played through with Robbie Robertson, amazing guitar player, Welsh, Gary Moore, obviously, and then one of the greatest names ever of a guy guitar player on the album Chinatown, David Gill, not Roger Waters' guitarist for a long time, Mr. Snowy White. So the album is Brian Downey on drums, Phil Lynott on bass and vocal, Scott Gorham on guitar, and Snowy White. Big feature of the album would have to be the song Chinatown. Killer on the Loose, another great track. It's Thin Lizzy's one of those bands that really started the kind of twin guitar harmonic thing where they would have riffs that would run, and they influenced a lot of bands.
Well,
I think it's hard for young people. What's that?
You can hear that in Scorpions and Priest and like that.
Even Boys Are Back in Town, you hear that.
Yeah.
100% on Boys and Back in Town.
They pioneered the tone. They were one of the first.
They were one of those bands, right? But it's hard, I think, now if you look back on rock where you don't hear that really anymore. I can't think of any modern rock bands that are going out of their way to go, okay, I'll play here, and Brian plays, you play, I play. Yeah. Going up an octave is only going up 2 frets and 1 string kind of thing. So it's not a difficult thing, but you got to put a little work into it. And I think at the time, they really helped bring that out. If you look at bands like Metallica, especially, they're huge Thin Lizzy fans, as are a lot of other bands of the kind of harder school. Megadeth, a lot of the hard bands really loved Thin Lizzy because of the way they presented their sound. So Chinatown was a departure album a bit in 79. Sadly, they ran into a lot of problems due to drugs with their lead singer, who tragically passed away in, I believe, 86. Phil Lynott died. They had a little run in the early 80s, and they got a guy named John Sykes. John Sykes was with a band called Tigers of Pantang. That's not where you know him. Where you know John Sykes is every single note played on the White Snake 87 album, except the solo on Here I Go Again, is John Sykes. He never toured the album, but before Whitesnake, he was in Thin Lizzy, and they did an album called Thunder and Lightning, and it is a big departure for the band. But I think if you want to get a good rock album that has some great guitar, I think Chinatown is a good starting point. Killer on the Loose, a great track. Chinatown, a great track. Just the vibe of it, really good. And Phil Lynott had a great way with lyrics. So that's where I'm coming from. Even though Hollywood is on Renegade, and I am
in Hollywood.
You're not down on your luck.
I'm not down on my luck. I'm not down on my luck tonight yet. Let's keep it that way, kids. And then okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was a good pick. And for those playing at home, of course, you probably already know Jailbreak and Boys Are Back in Town. Whiskey in the Jar.
Please check out Live and Dangerous. Their live album where you have Jailbreak, you have Boys Back in Town, you have Emerald, you have Still in Love with You, you have just an amazing live album. I still think the best live album ever. And if you want to tell me it's been dubbed and it wasn't all live, la 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 la. Yeah,
Kiss didn't do that either. La 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 la.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
No, for sure. Great pick, Jay. Thank you. Let's get a couple of words from Howie Darkstar. Let's see what Howie's got for us.
Who is muted, by the way, I noticed. So,
yes, please, and check the box there.
I had some noise going on, so you can
that
hear
was
me.
Jay.
Right? Yeah, it was Jay. All right, I am going to do a little explanation or filibuster, like Jay did, for my pick, and I picked the Electric Light Orchestra, and I picked the song that I did back in 1977, and Mr. Jeff Lynne wrote this song, "Don't Bring Me Down."
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, yeah, this is off of the Discovery album, and
Yes.
with that, we were a cover band, but Jeff Lynne is just so talented with his production and so forth. The only song off of that album that we could do that was really popular was Don't Bring Me Down, because it's the only song he didn't use strings on. We didn't have strings. We had guitar, bass, drums, and a front man.
He's hard to copy, yes.
Yeah, that'll be my pick.
That was kind of the rocker on that album. Discovery was very much I would call it a disco album. With Shine a Little Love and Last Train to London.
Yes.
Those are very, well, epic style disco songs, but Don't Bring Me Down was the rocker.
That was straight in your face rocker, yeah.
And it filled our dance floors because these were rock venues that had live bands back in the very late 70s.
Yeah,
He was saying,
really?
What?
What was that, Eric?
It still works. It still
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's still got a lot of energy.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That used to be the floor fillers. That would be somewhere between that and Pour Some Sugar and Living on a Prayer. It had that kind of energy that you could really wake people up with it if you really needed to give them something that was a little.
There's one other thing I wanted to add to that, and it's Don't Bring Me Down. Everybody thinks it's Bruce.
Bruce? Yeah.
Bruce.
Bruce.
What is
It
it?
was a made-up word as a filler for the song, and people thought of it as Bruce.
Everybody thought Bruce.
So
Everyone named Bruce thought it was Bruce.
he's actually done some live. When he would go, the crowd singing along, and so he sang Bruce as well. But he did explain in an interview that it was Bruce, and it was a made-up word as a filler.
Well, it was actually Groose, and he said it like as a made-up word, but then somebody in the band's like, that sounds a lot like Gruß, which is greetings in German, I think.
Yeah, it was. There was some sort of thing about the greetings. Yeah,
the Gruß, and then everybody thought it was Bruce.
Right.
So he started singing Bruce live.
Yeah, he did.
Like, I'm singing Bruce. I don't care. Whatever.
He never did on a joke. He never was.
Why not? It worked. It worked. Everybody,
And I'll tell you, on my dance floors back in the day, everybody would sing along to that song. I mean,
he was saying it in an interview, something about he tried to do like this wall of sound thing with the piano on that one, that dun 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 dun. He learned like 12 pianos on it, thinking it was going to sound awesome. So then I listened to the playback and it just sounds like piano. It just made no difference. Could have been one piano. So, but yeah, neat, cool song.
Cool song. And we often extol the virtues of ELO in here and the amazing talent of Jeff Lynne and anything he had a hand in, being such a Beatles nut that he was. And you can hear that coming through in a lot of his recordings.
And his final tour this year.
And he's out on the road. So this is I'm over it tour.
I'm waiting for the ticket to go on sale.
Oh boy. I can just imagine how much.
Yeah. If it's not $1,000, I might go.
It's worth it. I mean, he's not up there just going through the motions. I've seen some videos only from like a year or two. He's still got it.
He's good.
He's still going to deliver what you expect, and it's not going to be an attempt at what he used to sing. He can actually sing. He's done that, Brian, right? He sang like in a higher register of one of his songs when he did it live.
Yeah, well, he did that one thing. It was him, and I forget the name of his original, keyboardist. But this was from maybe 10 years ago, and they were doing this small little studio thing, just the two of them, Jeff on guitar and the keyboard player on piano. And they did several songs, like a half-hour long thing. Mm-hmm. And the one that blew my mind was Strange Magic. They sang in an octave higher.
Oh,
it was
really?
Gorgeous. Yeah. Usually, the older you get, the lower you go.
They solo them down and drop it a key, drop it a half step, because I can't hit that, right? So
it was magical. The way he sang it, the way they performed it. I played it in here before.
You did play. I remember you played it in here.
Yeah. It gives you chills.
Yeah. So for our viewers at home, look for ELO, just a couple of years old, an in-studio recording with just the two of them and Strange Magic, and add that to your ELO Rolodex. So if you're going to go see Jeff Lynne, the ELO Farewell Tour, that's this year, depending on when the show airs. So the show could be over by the time we go live with it. But the
Wembley or Bust show and the tour that followed, 2017 maybe, the goal was to make the songs sound like the songs did on the album, kind of like a Leonid and Friends thing. Mm-hmm. That was Jeff's goal with his band that he had, the Jeff Lynne's ELO, and they totally achieved it.
Mm-hmm. They
just as good or better than the album.
Stay true to the vinyl, and don't take any strange liberties that don't belong in the song.
I've heard them 3 times, and it was amazing every time.
It's good
I
stuff.
saw him at Madison Square Garden, and wow.
Nice one. Definitely worth checking out for sure. PSR, want me to hold you till the end? Just then we can kick it back to you.
I don't care. Kevin needs to go. Eric needs to go. But I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, let's see what Kevin, what you got for us this week?
All right, I'm going to give you a little backstory and see if you guys can figure out the song and the album.
It's Raining Men.
On the dark side, John Caffey, Beaver Brown Band.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, it's wrong, Eric. Your guess is wrong.
Okay, well, go ahead then.
All right. The original was recorded in 1962. The cover version by a group that was called the Elephant in the Room throughout the musical history of the world. The song I have chosen was recorded by this gentleman in 87, and he has now had the most number one hits of the members of this group he was in. This song on the original was the B-side song back in 62. The song is, if anybody doesn't know, the song is I Got My Mind Set on You by George Harrison.
Dude, by the way, none of us knew. Okay, just so you know, none of us knew.
So that is the song I chose. It's a song I always liked. It's a nice little ditty. He recorded it, like I said, in 87. Also, a little backstory. He actually got the record when he was visiting his sister back in 63 before he was on the Ed Sullivan Show. And picked up the album, and that's where he first heard it.
So, Kevin, I have a question for you.
Maybe I'm confused. Who did the song originally?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Who?
62. James Ray in 60.
James Ray. I've heard the original.
Yeah.
So here's my question to you, just to see if you know the answer to this question.
Oh, wait, I'm Wikipediaing right now, so I give all credit to...
Okay.
All hell.
Who produced the Cloud 9 album that George Harrison had? I got my mind.
That's the album that was on.
Who produced it?
You did.
Let's say Jeff.
Jeff Lynne produced it.
Yeah, that's what I would say, Jeff.
Says Jeff
1 degree of separation.
Wow.
There you go. He's everywhere.
By the way, do you guys realize the power of the traveling Wilburys when you break it down and look at that?
Right.
Mega super.
I don't think people really respected how much talent they threw into one. You got Tom Petty to go from, I'm a singer, guitar player. What's that? You want me to play bass? Okay.
Yeah.
No egos, just knocking it out.
They were all younger than me, too, which makes me feel 1,000. So.
Yeah, it's like, that's Roy Orbison and Jeff Lynne and Tom Petty and George Harrison are worried about, like, backing vocals.
Yeah.
Like, folks, stop and think about how much skill and talent you had in that music.
I was with my my girlfriend, Jody, when that came out. The Cloud 9 album came out. And I really liked it. I thought it was good. And she swore that he was singing, "Look Out, I Might Sit on You." That's what she thought the lyrics were.
Well, she had a hearing issue.
Yeah. So to this day, she'll still "Look Out, I Might Sit on You." It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Why don't you know what? When you get a chance, play her Benny and the Jets. I'd love to hear.
You're just as good at that, Jay, so you should have taught.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I didn't think he said sit on you.
Look
I
out,
bet you
might
Jody.
sit
I bet you Jody was hot though. I'll leave it at that.
Jody's still a friend of mine. I can show you a picture.
Yeah, don't. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Brian and his ex's friends. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No one gets away
friend of
from
mine.
Brian. I'm just saying.
Very good friend of mine.
I remember hearing "Got My Mind Set on You" when I hit the radio. I'm like, that's just repetitive and catchy enough to go to number one. This is just going to be one of those fluke songs that's going to do it. I didn't know it was a cover. I don't remember hearing the original of "Give Me a Ray."
Yeah, so, it's a very oh boy. To me, it sounds like who am I thinking of?
Badfinger.
No, it does not sound like Badfinger. It
doesn't sound like him, but it seemed like it fell into that same folder of music.
So the original.
Too pop.
No, I'm trying to. Who am I thinking of?
Hey, I don't like the song, by the way. It's going to go on record.
I like all those years ago's better.
Weird Al liked it enough to do,
better.
this song is just 6 words long is a cover of it. I don't know if you've ever heard that. It's pretty funny.
It's a soul song. It's like a Jackie Wilson song.
Like a Frankie Miller song or something.
I got my mind set on you. The original to me sounds like Jackie Wilson. Am I right, Kevin?
I didn't get a chance to listen to the first.
Oh, for God's
I'm going to note. I put it on the post.
It's very
I put it
Jackie
on a
Wilson.
Post-it.
That's who
I
I
just
was
got my
looking for.
driver's license, but I don't know how to drive. What are you doing, Kevin?
You didn't even listen to the original.
Well, I didn't even know until I found the wiki. Maybe we
It's a
can play
soul song.
words.
It's a 60s soul song.
A
We're
60s
gonna
soul song.
play it after.
That makes
the
sense.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What George did with it, he made it very upbeat, very poppy, catchy, and it's
Yeah, he did a very poppy
Sorry.
version of it, but the original is very Jackie Wilson-ish. Yeah, let's do it after the show if you want to. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it gets
I
stuck.
just
in your
want to
head.
throw this out there. How did Julian Lennon not get bigger?
I wondered the same thing.
I'm
I
dead
thought
serious. I'm absolutely 100%
no,
serious.
I'm with you 100%.
I thought his stuff was amazing.
Was it Valit? Was that the name of the album? I have it back. Valit?
Loved or
A
something.
lot or whatever.
Lot.
I love
Lot.
that.
Which is a
The
beautiful
title
song.
track was great. Too Late for Goodbyes was really good. And
Amazing.
nothing.
Then just died.
And he was done.
He had it all.
He
Could've-
probably made millions on those.
Yeah, but who cares? He should have had
He
a
didn't need
longer
millions. He
career.
was-
Right, and that's my point. I was just like,
Your dad's John Lennon. You probably don't need the money.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not the
You know,
money.
but,
Like he had the voice and his songs were beautiful. There was great melody.
Yeah, I don't get it.
about it. Like,
I
how
don't
did
get
it
it.
not keep going?
Was he just imitating his dad's tone? And he
I don't know.
was
His
No,
godfather's Paul McCartney. You think he might step in and write for him if he was having writer's
Yeah,
block?
throw him a bone, Paul. By the way, Sean Lennon, I've heard him do a bunch of stuff. He does Sail on Sailor really
Mark
well
Ronson.
with
Yeah,
somebody,
Mark Ronson.
Mark Ronson. But outside of that, I know why he doesn't have a big career in music.
Well, it's funny
His
because
brother or half brother, I don't know.
That's where all the talent went. Huh?
I dig Julian.
I do too.
And
It's one of
Sean
those
and Julian
mysteries.
are now close, and they
Do you guys really think Julian sounded a lot like John, though?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
He was
A
just
lot.
kind of I
A
think
ton.
deliberately
And he
worked
wasn't
at that
trying
time.
to sound like his dad. He just
No,
did.
I think it was his natural voice.
It was the tone of his voice. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
You know,
100%.
you put him on a
Yeah.
Beatles song singing John's part, you have a hard time.
You'd have a hard time deciphering.
I was thinking when that came out, which is around the same time Cloud9 came out, if I remember right.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this is what it's going to take to do a Beatles reunion. We have a replacement for John.
Yeah,
With Julian.
It's like the Led
Sounds
Zeppelin
like
thing.
him, looks like him.
Yeah, but look at Led Zeppelin when they did the O2 Arena. You had 3 of the 4, and who do they get for the drummer? They get Jason Bonham, John Bonham's son.
Yeah.
Therefore, it made perfect sense at the time to me. Like, wait, we have George Harrison, we have Ringo, we have Paul, and now we have Julian. Oh,
Who's
this
good.
is gonna be perfect.
I bet you he was an album or two away from something like that happening, but it just didn't.
I would love to hear that was on the plate, but somebody put a kibosh on it because I think they would have made great
All
music.
right. That sounds like
As
a
they
homework assignment. I
gotten
will
older.
take that for next week. I have the 40
All right.
of both of those singles, and I will do the deep dive and find out why
Right
he
on.
didn't do anything after 87.
I'm sure
I'll
he's
get us
done
the why.
things, but
Inquiring minds want to know. We will get to the bottom of this.
Seriously.
Didn't the Beatles, children like Julian and so forth, didn't they try to form a group or
that sounds almost familiar. Like some of them
Yeah,
did.
it does sound familiar.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the kids of
they got 3 of the kids from
George's kid plays his son.
he's got a weird name, starts with a D, I
D.
think.
Yes, it's an Indian
Indian name.
It is.
They're Dobby.
He was in that famous
with
like
a,
for
like a
Prince.
D and an H right next to each other. I
Solo
don't-
on
Yeah,
My
Dobby
Guitar
or something.
Gently Weeps.
And Ringo's
Playing
kid.
a 12 string.
Yeah, Ringo's son Zach, I think, plays drums, right?
Saw him recently. Looks like his dad
Oh,
now.
Zach, Ringo's son played with The Who for like 15 years as their drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him with the 3 original before John Entwistle died, and the drummer was Ringo Starr's son, Zach Starkey.
Yeah.
So
Fire tonight.
there's something to it then.
And
The,
moved to Hollywood.
the Beatles siblings or children actually did try to form a group.
Maybe the Beatles' grandchildren to do something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's-
It would be cool if
to
they
that
did
point.
Children of the Revolution as a cover from the famous Milwaukee group.
They didn't do it originally.
No, they covered it from
T-Rex.
T-Rex. I'm saying
Yep.
if the kids of the Beatles did Children of the Revolution by T-Rex, but they did the other version. Think about it.
He's something if we get Beatles Offspring, they come back together again. There's a lot of talent out there.
You're in Hollywood. Go sign him up right now.
And make it happen. Get out on that
right
Hollywood
there.
swinging. Yeah.
Right on the boulevard.
There is between this and success is a piece of glass.
Yeah.
Eric, I want to know what Eric's got.
Yeah,
gonna
thank
have
you,
something interesting.
Kevin. Appreciate
All right,
it.
Don't judge me,
Valley's
but,
greatest hits.
I'm going to
know
give you
what I
this
got.
one.
Do you really want to hear it?
Sopranos
Absolutely. Do you really want to make me
soundtrack,
cry?
too.
What, you got Culture Club? What's going on?
Not Culture Club. All right,
Oh, there's gonna be some-
You know, I'm going to go.
Paul Anka.
Oh God! Wait, does this remote work on him too? Hey, hold on, it worked on Bill
The
last.
Bill remote. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was unconscious. That's different. I'm not quite there yet.
Oh damn! I gotta get a newer model. I'm gonna go with this guy who he had 3 singles that went certified gold. 2 in
Casey Kasem.
Would you let me finish? 2 in 1977 and 1 in 1980. Anybody got a clue yet?
Andrew Gold.
No. What did he have? 1 hit?
He had 2.
2. Okay, a Lonely Boy.
Thank you for being a friend, Lonely Boy.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad guess.
Wasn't a bad guess.
Oh,
Andy
wow.
Gibb.
Warren
Gibb.
Zevon.
Now, overall, this guy had 16 studio albums, right?
Wow. Okay.
He,
I go Warren Zevon again.
he had several on the Billboard Hot 100. 2 that went number 1 and 1 that went number 2.
Jackson Brown.
No, and one of my favorites went to number 9. But anyway, I'm talking about Leo Sayer.
Oh.
No, I wouldn't have gone there. Good one.
Make Me Feel Like Dancing went number
Love
1.
that song.
Great track.
And I Need You went number 1.
That was
Great
nice.
song.
More Than I Can Say, which
More Than I Can Sing was his 80s one. Yep.
80
It's a good song.
went
Yep.
to number 2. Long Tall Glasses only went to number 9. I'm disappointed.
You love that song.
I do love that song.
We've heard this from
Something
you
about it.
before. You love that song.
I do.
It's a good
There's
song.
something about it. I don't know what it is. But that's my pick.
Excuse me.
Leo say he really didn't have a huge amount of hits like that we can speak of as DJs that we play.
When you
He had
open up
that
the dance
afro,
floor,
though. He had that afro.
he did have quite the
Yeah,
afro.
he did. He did.
When you open the dance floor, there's something about You Make Me Feel Like Dancing that just has that beat that starts dragging people up off the
It
table.
just makes people want to get out.
It's just got that just
100%.
enough bump that people start wanting to move to something. You know,
I've told my Times Square story on that song. I've told it, so I won't tell it again.
No, tell
I
it
think
again.
you will because no one seems
I
to know it.
We got an hour
I've
to
heard it.
I'm in a club in Times Square. It's a club, right?
In time, what year?
2003.
So it's a dominatrix club. Okay, go ahead.
It's 2 in the morning, and the DJ is like playing all the cool tracks, you know. I had been drinking.
I was going to say the next line is going to be, I've been drinking.
I've been drinking.
And I took out $5
And I'm like, all right,
and I went
I'm
like
gonna
this.
go talk to this DJ, this cool DJ in dreads, you know. Like, hey man, so you make me feel like dancing my Leo Sayer. He's like, no, it's not that kind of night. I'm like, come on, dude, just play the track for me, man. I really want to hear this song right now. And he said no. So I pulled out a $100 bill and I put it on top of it. So I said, I want to hear Leo Sayer. You make me feel like dancing. You got it, sir. And he played it, and it went over huge. Everybody lost their minds. It was a very DJ AM out of nowhere. He just put the song on.
Yep.
And it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I was
$3,000 later,
and
Brian was the best
That was
DJ
fun.
in Times Square.
it was
There you go.
fun.
We all got to start somewhere, you know.
Right.
Pay to play. That gets their attention for sure. Like, do this next.
Yeah.
You didn't have to say, me and my
By
friend
the way,
Karen are
just-
leaving.
Just a show of hands. We don't even have to verbalize. Just a show of hands. Who here has been at a club or an event, maybe had a couple adult sodas, and been convinced they absolutely 100% knew what the next best song would be to play and tried to convince a DJ of it.
I have.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
And you're shaking your head like, seriously, dude, Nine Inch Nails? Are you kidding me? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah. More often than not, I can predict what they're going to play next. A lot of just where they are in the set. I'm like, you know what would fit, and then what's probably coming. And I've actually hit that right a few times.
Oh, I have too.
Been like,
Every time I told them,
like I know my job. Yep.
Every time I told them long, tall glasses, they wouldn't do it. I had to give them $100 bill. I'm kidding.
Well, if you're an audience member, and a DJ, oh, don't do this.
No.
Well, that's the best. That's the best advice.
If you're up in the booth, you don't have that perspective.
Yeah, they can't get you.
If you actually know what you're doing and you're in the mob, then it's like having a spy.
Yeah.
Danny Tenaglia, we all agree, one of the greatest DJs ever. Danny Tenaglia has always said, keep one foot in the booth, one foot on the floor.
Yeah.
If you can't be on the dance floor, you shouldn't be in the DJ booth.
You've
got to have both worlds where oh, you know what would make me dance more if I was down there? This. And all of a sudden the crowd erupts and you're like.
So basically what you admitted to is something we all hate, is when people come up and
we made $100 though. I'd take $100 too. I'd play Mandy by Barry
I'll put $100 on this is going to work.
Yeah, but
I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to help you.
I'd play Mandy for 50. Yeah.
I'll shut the song up that's playing right now for $100 and
please.
Yeah.
Well,
you got 50 cents. I'm throwing Slayer on if you want. I don't really care at this point.
Got turned down 2 times, and then when the $100 came out, then sure.
Hey, he's probably making $200 a night.
Yeah.
Brian just doubled his pay.
You never do it for the sacrifice of the event. I mean, but if it's close, it's just like I wouldn't have done that, but I can make it work.
I know it's going to be fine.
The largest I ever got for a song was $20. It's, hey, can you play this here, $20? And I'm like,
but John, you're right, and Brian's right, and Howie's right, and it all makes sense because sometimes you get a perspective. It's sort of like, I don't know about you guys, but I hate it when I have a song loaded and someone runs up and goes, oh, dude, you know what would kill right now? This. And it's already loaded. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's
shoot. Now I have to.
I don't have that one, dude.
He's going to tell all his friends, oh, I told the DJ to play this. This is awesome. Look, everyone's dancing. It's I figured it out on my own.
Yeah.
How dare you take credit for something?
If it's the same thing, you've already got loaded in the chamber and he comes up and asks for it, and that's what already where you're going. It's like
almost as good as if you're playing the song and they come up and ask you for the song you're playing.
That's playing. Oh, that's
right. When it's a guy, if it's a girl, it's different because you can go like, you know what? Check it out. You can make them look and go, check out the screen. Oh my God, this is awesome. And they won't tell their friends they made the change. A guy will take the credit and be like, yo, dog, I told Brian to play this. He did. What? Like, no, we were there. We know what's going on.
That's not how that transaction went down at all. No.
That's happened to me a couple times. You know what I did to the person? I would say, look, it's already next. I'm ahead of you.
There you go.
Show them.
And if you're going to play, Earl Scruggs, you got to know when you want to load that kind of track. I mean, stuff 20s and 30s.
I don't have it.
Yeah. It's a different vibe.
And they can get mad at you, storm off, and then you play it. And then
if they ask you for something good, the alternative, you got 5 people in the place, and they come up and want the biggest banger of the night now, and it's like there's nobody here. You know what? That's so good. We're going to hold that one. We're going to wait on that, and I'm going to let you know when that's coming on, but not here.
Yeah,
I hope nobody's
done that too.
That happened to me one time. I put a song on. I knew it was 5 minutes. I could go to the bathroom quick and get back. I find a girl behind my booth, and she changed songs, and I'm like, "Who are you? What are you doing?" And she goes, "I just wanted this." I go, "But this is not your equipment." I said, "Please leave." And I said, "I'm sorry about that, folks. My assistant flubbed that." And she was just like, oh. And then I just went back to the usual thing. People started dancing, but that was a shocker. One time, leave the booth without an assistant.
Well,
Somebody came up.
Did you pick a good song, or did you come back to like Inagata Davida or something?
Occupational hazards.
No, she wanted to cry in her beer song, and like it was really pumping, and the floor cleared when she put that on, and I was like,
I'm not going to your job tomorrow and knocking the out of your mouth and telling you what to do. Okay,
far? Not telling you how to flip your burgers. Yeah.
Too far? Okay, the burger. Let's use the burger.
Let's use the burger example. That's
good. Good say it.
I have a rather long filibuster.
Another filibuster,
which I'll word the night here to get to my pick.
Okay, right.
I think we're good. You, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm looking at the time. Man, we went long form on this. Yeah, and I got a lot of stuff to show you. So
must be a good one.
The first thing pardon?
You have time.
Sure. Well, I got 9 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, 10. You got 12.
We'll go long. We might go long on this because I got some cool stuff to share with you. I think it's cool. The inspiration for tonight is my daughter.
Stevie!
I turned her onto this song. She'd never heard it, and now she has to get the album. And I think she's ordered it off of Discogs because she has to have it. And she doesn't have any records, but a couple. But she needs this one. So this is
My Little Town.
Huh?
My Little Town.
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
No.
Not Simon and Garfunkel.
No. Very different. So this is one of the strangest duos that ever. And they had some success in Clubland more so than anything else here in the States. They were huge in the UK. And they won awards for their music. They did a performance piece one time where they took £1 million sterling and burned it. And they've deleted their entire catalog until we achieve world peace. So if you have the album, you're good. If you don't, it's not going to get repressed because the whole catalog's been deleted. And I'm talking about the KLF.
3 a.m. Eternal.
This is the one everybody knows.
That's the jam. Yeah.
3 a.m. Eternal. Okay.
Wow.
So do you know the song?
No.
3 a.m. Eternal. Okay, so I'll give you the story. This was on, well, for us in America, this was off the album White Room. And it's recorded live at the 88L1 or something like that. Anyway, it's not a live thing. It's recorded in the studio. But this is a really good song that a lot of you guys know. So I'll put this over here. This one's really cool too. This wasn't as big, but it was good. Last Train to Trans Central. This is a really good song off the same album, KLF. Okay, it's a good one. This one was popular, but I didn't like it. Justified and Ancient. All right, and my favorite is this one right here called What Time Is Love.
Now, what is Stevie's favorite?
Well, I'm not there yet. I'm getting there.
You're teasing.
And it's taken me a while to get there.
Oh, my.
But this is KLF. And if you don't know KLF, check out everything I'm showing you. This is my favorite KLF song. What Time Is Love? So I will tell you this. Oh, there were several versions of this song. There's this one. And then America, What Time Is Love came out, which is a little more rocky. And then there was actually an Echo and the Bunnymen version of it as well, of their remix. So kind of an interesting deal there. Now, before I go any further, I will tell you this. The KLF are big time into sampling. Like, that's their thing. The song What Time Is Love, just to give you an idea of the kind of samples that are in it, I actually had to pull them up. It's insane. So there's a sample of Heaven on Their Minds from Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh.
It either a sample or an inspiration on that one. Our Darkness and Clark, which is a really cool song. Listen to that one. That one's directly sampled, I believe. And then the other ones, there's several samples in different versions, but the main ones, Wanda D, Want to See You Sweat. That's a big one. That's a really cool kind of electro track. It's really short, but it's good. Kraftwerk Home Computer, direct sample in that. It's really good. MC5, Kick Out the Jams, is sampled in this. Jim
Really?
Morrison is sampled in this from some crowd stuff. It's put together kind of like Rick Rubin put together the Beastie Boys stuff. It's that rough and raw and cool. Like it takes all this stuff that shouldn't make sense and puts it together in a way that makes sense and creates great music. Now, the first project they didn't do it as the KLF. They did it as an act called the Jams. Jams. They also go by this name from some weird obscure novel that I don't know much about, The Justified and Ancients of Mumu. So Justified, Ancients, Mumu, Jam, the Jams. So they did some stuff that was a little more hip hoppy, almost kind of Rick Rubin-ish, but more on a European, like if you can imagine like Pet Shop Boys rapping on West End Girls, was kind of like that, but kind of like the License to Ill album at the same time. So first are the Jams, and then they're the KLF. But before they were the KLF, right in between, they did this little project where they changed their name one more time. And this is the one that I was taking about my kid on.
KMFDM.
Huh?
KMFDM?
No.
Oh.
No. Keep up, Jay. Come on. So,
a lot of letters.
I don't know.
Alphabet soup here. Yeah.
So this song has 3 main samples in it, and they're weird. One sample is a track by Sweet.
Love's Like Oxygen.
No, it's not Love Is Like Oxygen. It's
I love that
Ballroom Blitz.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was
and
thinking.
it's not bar. It's a weird track, and
Little Willie.
right on the tip of my tongue, and it went away.
Box on the run.
Oxes.
Box on the Run. Yeah,
It's not a track. It's kind of an obscure Jams track. It's called like.
Huh.
Oh, a second. I'll pull it for you in just a second. It's right here.
Okay.
Little Willie.
No, it is. It's going to pop up here in a second. Man, what's the name of this track? It's a really weird track too.
It's looking on the Magic 8 Ball.
I was going on Resolution.
Oh, okay.
okay.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right.
There's a
That's a
sweet
good song. I know that song.
There's a sweet song, and then Rock and Roll Gary Glitter,
Yep.
part of it,
Okay. Yeah.
He's in jail. So I
and
wouldn't.
then the Doctor Who theme song. Took all these songs and put them together.
Dude, I'm so not in this moment. I have no clue.
You will dig this.
Well, we played that.
Oh,
one.
The
sure, I'd
Time
like it, but-
Lords,
Time
Doctor and the TARDIS.
Oh, there you go.
This is cool.
Is that the Blues Brothers car?
It
Similar.
is rumored to be the Blues Brothers car. And
Looks like a
believe it or not,
Dodge.
it's called, the car is called Ford Time Lord and credited as a member of the band, the Time Lords.
Okay, so these people obviously are not on their medication.
They're out of their minds. They're out of their ever living freaking
Any one of
minds.
them related to Captain Beefheart?
But the music is amazing.
Yeah,
So-
the Doctor Who song is really good. Yeah,
I've
You
never
know
even
it,
heard of the
Doctor and
KLF.
TARDIS. John knows it.
I know it.
Stevie is a big Doctor Who fan. So she's into this stuff. She's going back.
I like
and
the
reading
old
books,
one where the guy had the afro. I
the
like
scarf and the afro. That's my dude
Tom,
too.
Tom Baker. That's my Doctor
That's
Who. Yes.
that's
Yeah, that's
sorry,
the one I
sorry,
like.
younger people, but that was my Doctor Who.
She's
Yeah,
into
that's
all of
the
them.
guy,
She's
like,
reading
he
the
had the
books and
long
everything.
scarf with the long
Yeah,
coat.
the colors,
I like him.
colors. Yeah.
So I say to her, you ever heard the club song? The Doctor Who club song? She said, no. And she's acting very uninterested. Like, Dad, I don't care. And I put it on and she's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And she's in love with this. So this
You did
I
this to me when
spun-
I did the 24-hour set with the goddamn oh, why don't you play this? And I'm like, I've never heard of that. It was some like random cartoon song, like SpongeBob.
Sesame Street by Smarties. Yeah.
That's it. Sesame Street. That's it.
This is fun. So this is my pick.
I'll check it out. I've never heard
I'll
of the
play
KLF.
it for you after the show.
I've never
And
heard
I'll
of
find
the
the
KLF.
sweet song.
I
admitting.
think differently. Jay, I bet those you know all 4 of those KLF songs. You just didn't know that's what they were.
I might, but the name doesn't ring a bell. The second he said KLF, I went KMFDM. Like
No,
KLF.
Caleb's going,
KLF is gonna rock you.
hey,
Are you
shit,
ready?
Moo. Yeah.
You'll know it when you hear it.
Well, no, I think Brian wins tonight because he's giving us stuff that even I've never heard of, and it's like this could be something we can use down the road.
Well, I'll tell you that when I was, back in the old days, I did a video today talking about DJing with turntables way back and showed how things were cute and all that.
It's a good video.
But this was the kind of stuff I was playing. A story I have about this Doctor and the TARDIS album. I mentioned that they deleted their catalog, right?
Mhm.
So you can't buy this stuff anymore.
Right.
This was in the old Safe House Music Library, and it got played a lot, and it was all beat up. And we had this big comic convention come to town, and this one guy who, I don't know, he was a vendor. He had money. I don't know who he was. He asked for the song, thinking, you don't have it, but I'd love to hear this Doctor and the TARDIS. I have that. It's like, no, you don't. I'm like, of course I do. So I put it on, and he lost his mind. The whole place lost their mind. They're all singing it. It's a sing-along song. It is what it was back in the day. Probably late 80s, early 90s. It was Moni Moni for a lot of crowds.
Wow.
So afterwards, he says, I got to have that. You can't get it anymore. I said, yeah, I know. I said, but I can't give it to you. I said, it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the club. So I'll give you $100 for it. Fine.
It's yours.
Fine. So I sold it to him. But what I haven't told you is just a day or two before, I was going through the record store across the street from my girlfriend's house and saw a mint copy of it for $3.
Wow.
I knew it was there.
So you made
So after
$97.
I played the song that night, I stayed at my girlfriend's house, that night. I got up the next morning, went across the street, bought it for $3, stayed there all day, went back to the club because the convention was in town. I was doing night after night,
Mm-hmm.
and put a brand new copy in the shelf. And I told my manager, I'm like, look, I want to tell you what I did. I sold your junk copy of this, and I got you a brand new one. He says, good for you. So
Yeah, but it's not the same 100 you use from You Make Me Feel Like Dancing, Leo Sayer.
different 100.
But did you get?
Well, I only ended up with $97.
Yeah, 97 is the net.
Good profit. That's a good profit. Yeah.
Still a pretty good tip considering I was making 70 a night. So
When you left, did you get to take it with you?
no, I didn't.
Well, then how did you get this copy?
I found this copy on a crate dig.
Oh, cool.
So, and I can tell you that I paid, looks like 50 cents for it. This was back in the 90s that I found this.
Oh,
So,
Wow.
anyway, my pick. I'll play it for you later.
nice.
Very cool. And you
I
did it?
guess we're time, huh?
Excellent pick.
Yeah.
Well,
I forget.
let's
Did I start this or you?
I think I did.
Okay.
Yes,
You'll
I've
have
done
I
the start.
did.
You
So
started this.
we did the long form music show tonight. Thank you for watching. And we will go back to something else more normal next week.
Awesome.
If you can consider anything we ever do normal here.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.